Hey guys, this is Jen from, again, ScanNCut Canvas and Scout Help on Facebook. I have this 4-foot long ancient piece of lead painted wood that my parents are insisting that I put vinyl on for one of my mom's friends. Well, she liked the look of this wood. Wanted it left all natural, didn't want a sealer, didn't want a satin, didn't want anything on it. So, what I need to do is I need to make sure that the vinyl is going to stick. This is why this video is being made. Okay? There are so many uneven surfaces. Okay? What I did ahead of time, let me go grab it, is I took my hard scraper and I went through and I scraped this wood. Alright, I removed all of the flaky pieces of wood that I could get to. I then took a paper towel and I went over this wood. One, it helps to remove any excess debris, little pieces of paint, and please note, anytime you're working with hazardous materials such as lead, please use a respirator. That is what I used. Okay, but I took all of that off. However, using that paper towel, any exposed or bad edges of that paint catches that paper towel and rips it. So then I go back in, I take this and I scrape. See, you can see right there. I'm going to catch that piece right there. Okay. So even though she originally liked the beginning look, there, now it's down smooth. Of that wood, I had to take some of the paint off so that the vinyl would stick and not start to become unadhered. Okay? Because if the paint doesn't stick, the vinyl that's sticking to the paint sure as heck ain't gonna stick. Okay? So I forewarned everybody that that may be the case. And everybody was okay with it. And of course the famous S word came out of my mother's mouth, shellac. To which my dad yelled at her and all that good stuff. But anyways, so she picked this font because it's the same one my mother has sitting on her porch. I literally got the most specific instructions you could imagine. The height, the width, the colors, everything. Too funny. My mom knows how busy I am. She knows exactly what I ask and what I need. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how I'm going to go about placing this vinyl. I do not use Oracal. I use ARLON. You can see that is what this is. This is ARLON. This is the 5000 outdoor vinyl. Okay. If I was to use Oracal, well, I definitely send them I do not guarantee this for very long statement. Okay. So what I do is I just look at my placement. I compare the outside of the B to the beginning of the B. Okay. And I have my little marks to know how tall I can place each letter. Alright, so we're going to go right there. Okay, I start in the middle and smooth only one direction. So middle this way, then middle that way. Okay? If you kind of go willy-nilly all over the place, you are going to end up with a ton of bad bubbles and lots of bad air. Okay? I use my smooth, soft scraper, squeegee, widget, whatever you want to call it, to smooth this out. Okay? So this is what I'm going to do here. Understand, when I go to lift this up, it may not want to stick. I understand that. I have my hair dryer. Okay? This is a very low tack tape. This is what I use to transfer all of my vinyl. Understand, my tape is also heat transfer tape. So you can use this to transfer all your HTV in that too, which means it's heat safe. I can heat the crap out of this. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to start to heat it. That's going to help to activate that adhesive in that vinyl and tell it that it really wants to start liking that wood and that awesome lead paint. Okay, so I'm gonna start heating and scraping and moving the camera. Again, this is an on-the-fly video, which means as I'm doing things, I'm just gonna start recording. You may pick things up, things that I know that I take for granted. You may also want to use leather gloves anytime you're using high heat. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. I'm going to do another video today too. These are lambskin or whatever the soft skin is, leather gloves. I don't like to use leather because that means an animal died. But unfortunately, that's the best heat preventative glove that I have found. Y'all know how much of a animal lover I am. So this doesn't really sit well with me. But and that's much easier to deal with the heat. Because man, this hairdryer gets hot. It's an 1875 watt hairdryer made by Conair. And it works really well. Okay, so now let's see how much damage I've done here. How well it wants to stick. Yeah, we're having slight issues with the adhesion. Getting things to stick to old crap is kind of hard sometimes. Especially this. It is not sealed, and it is extremely old, and it's flaky. I mean, look at that. Look at the flaky paint. But she did not want it to be sealed. So I told her I would try, but I make no guarantees. Because in my opinion, all wood should be sealed. If I can get this started. Sorry, I know my arms might be in the way, but... if I can get this started and get this off of here, we will be doing good. Okay. And I'm probably going to run a blade down the center here to eliminate the air that gets underneath there. Because if air gets underneath there, that's going to allow water, all kinds of moisture to get in behind that. If you can split it, there we go. If you can split it and seal it by rubbing the edges down, you're doing yourself a huge favor. Gotta get that, there we go, gotta get that out of there. So, this is gonna take me a long time to place this. I may work with the heat quite a bit. This one stayed down nice, this part of the bee, but this one's not. And it is just going to be a rough placement. But I like a challenge. And I really like being able to do things for you in a video that, God forbid, if your family members do this to you, you can be like, hey, I know Jen did a video. Because her family's mean to her too. So I can pull that up and watch it. No, I actually don't consider this mean. I actually really like it when people throw challenges my way. It actually makes me quite happy. pop that bee off of there. You can see that is popping right up there. But I know when we get it stuck down and we apply some of that heat, it's really going to help it to start to seal. This bee up here, this part of the bee up here, just really likes his little wood bed. And he wants to be tucked in. Okay, so now I'm going to work this part right here. I know this may seem long and boring to some of you. Use your fast forward button, okay? I do not like to fast forward anything because some people think that you're tricking the camera or doing, you know, just kind of bad things that maybe you shouldn't. I agree. So if you don't want to watch something, fast forward it. Okay, so let's get all the weird and obnoxious curves out of here that may not belong. The unnatural curves that were added in by the stress of the pull. And I find sometimes hand pressing works better when you do that. Okay, so now this, let me pull this up here a little closer and down so you're right on top. Okay, so you see that? It is not, oh, now the camera wants to tip over. I tell you, this little camera stand's about junk. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this. Okay, it automatically stopped recording, but you can see now how it is actually sucking down. Let me get you in here. You can see how it's actually sucking down right to that paint. Okay, we didn't have that before. Alright, so I'm going to try, yeah, look, see how it's really sucked down there? You can see the full outline. See over here, it's just floating. So let's try to work on this so you can really see what the heat does. I need to move. I'm blowing everything off my table here. With the curves, you need to be careful that you're not pulling. You don't want to pull and stretch. You just want to press. Press and seal. So heat it, press it, seal it. You don't want to leave the heat on too long either, that you burn it and curl it and melt it, okay? What you want to do is keep watching that vinyl. It'll talk to you. It'll tell you, hey, you're getting me too hot. Stop. How that's sucking down? Not floating anymore. It's actually sucking down to the wood. It's getting good contact adhesion. That's exactly what you want and what you need to achieve proper adhesion to your wood project. Do you see the huge difference there? Okay, hang on. Stupid camera stand. Let me get a better focus there. Now, you see that that fits that piece of wood like a piece of spandex. Okay? Trying to get a good focus there. There we go. That reads every line. You come up here, and it's not. It is not reading anything. Okay, it's just floating there, waiting to rip off. Okay, I'll work that little creasy looking thing out of there too. Okay, but that's what it looks like. That's the huge difference. This has got a perfect grab on that wood. This is going to last a very long time. This wouldn't. If I just left it like that, oh, you betcha, that would probably flake off of there. Okay, but this, because I've heated it up, I have really activated that adhesive on there, it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so I'm going to keep working on this. When I'm done, we're going to come back and take a look at it. Alrighty, so here she is, completely and totally done. Let me see if I can catch the glare. There we go. Fully sucked down to that wood. And you can see that by catching the glare there. Okay, there are no lifts. I went and I cut, let me see if I can bring it in here. I went and actually cut that so that it lays perfectly now. And everything is fully adhered. There is no chance, because this board is going to be sitting up outside, there is no chance for that water to run down in there, get between there, and start to separate that. We don't want that. Okay, so that is all good to go. Oops, I need to cut down there too. But that's how you go about doing something like this on a just absolutely obnoxious piece of wood that you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? First, scrape it. Get all the really loose pieces off. Go over it, remove any excess powdery paint, stuff like that. Remember, use a respirator. You do not want to inhale any of that bad stuff, okay? Go ahead and place it. You're going to have to be really careful. Doing something like this is painstaking. Oh, before that though, when you're removing like the powdery paint, stuff like that, you've seen me use this brush. Also use a paper towel. Try not to spray anything on it, no fluids, because that's just going to create moisture, and you don't want that. So do your best. Use a air compressor, spray it off, whatever you want to do. But try never to introduce any moisture to this wood. That will affect the adhesion of your vinyl, okay? Then go ahead, put the vinyl on, and use a hairdryer, something like that, okay? And then make sure when you're using a hairdryer or something with heat in it, that you have leather gloves, okay? Something that can withstand the heat. These gloves have tipped backing, which is really nice, because when I stick my little fingers in there when I'm smoothing it, this actually protects the ends of my fingers. And with not, you've seen I started, man, that heats my hands up so quick it actually burns, okay? And I want you guys to be safe. But that's it in a handbasket. If you never use this, that is fine. I do these on the fly videos to possibly help you if you ever get into situations like this, or if you ever try something like this, okay? So this video is not meant for anything. It's just the things that I am currently doing. I feel that maybe there are things that I do that might help you, all right? So that is what will happen in every quote-unquote on-the-fly video. I hope this helps. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thanks.